Dave, it's time for us to start another show. And as you know, we always ask you a trivia question about the show you were on or a simple trivia question that you probably should know.
Know the answer to. Of course I already
Yes.
do.
Okay, so here is your trivia question for today's show. I'm actually handing you this one, Dave, because this is a trivia question where I know you know the answer. Okay.
Tuesday.
Here it is. Here's a question, Dave. What is the name of Spider-Man's clone?
Ben Reilly.
Exactly right. Everybody, check us out at 6 Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com.
6 Unseemly Questions!
Welcome to 6 Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Dave Rosinsky. We've got a great contestant on the show today. Please put your hands together for Mike Cannon. Come on, Mike. How's it going, man?
Good, fellas. How you guys doing?
Welcome. Good.
We're doing very well. Thanks for coming to the show. We've got a wonderful studio audience. I want to introduce you to them. It's Zara Nurbaksh and Yogi Paliwal. All right. Welcome, both of you. Thanks for coming. Say hello. Say hello, studio audience.
Hello.
Hello.
We are at a podcast. Please. Just let's make use of the format, everybody.
Nice.
All right, Mike, I'm going to tell you how the show works, and then we're going to get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I'll ring a bell if I like your answer like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring a bell, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I will decide whether or not it's worth giving you $5 whole for your appearance on the show.
Sweet. Sounds
Are
good.
you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's get to it. Question number 1. What is your guilty pleasure on YouTube?
Oh, man. It's changed over time because back when YouTube first came out, I used to be one of those weird guys that would get high and then watch the security footage from Columbine. And that is no longer anything that I'm even remotely into. But
so when YouTube started, you were pretty creepy?
Yeah, I was in college and just looking to feel things. Everybody in my family was kind of dying or getting a divorce, so things were in turmoil. And I was like, you know what? Let's watch some weird version of Clerks. So that was my initial guilty pleasure. I think now it's probably turning school buses into tiny homes.
Turning school. I too have seen those videos, the tiny home videos.
Yeah,
wow.
As somebody with a wife and a child, the idea of mobile living is very attractive to me. It'll never happen, and I think because of that, I'm super into it.
I think it appeals to my my hermit freedom fantasy. You know, like where you're just like on a hill, you eat apples every day, and you poop in your cave, and there's no other responsibilities. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to fix anything, so the idea of me living that way is like truly impossible. But I really I love cosplaying as a man, like as somebody who can use a wrench.
No, I get it. All right, you know what? You get a bell.
Nice. Yes.
All right, it is time for question number 2. But before we do that, can you tell people out there what you do?
I'm a stand-up comedian / podcaster.
You are very funny in both arenas.
Oh, thanks, man.
Anytime.
Was that the correct answer? I don't know.
Well, that was just a question.
No, that wasn't.
The question was just, what do you do? So probably it was the correct answer.
I thought you just didn't give me a bell because you're like, disagree.
No. That was just. It's just a part of the. It's a game show part of the show. You know, like when they go into the game show and they're like, "Hey, what do you do? Where are you from?" Blah blah blah.
Gotcha.
It's that part of the show.
That makes sense.
This is a very high quality show. Okay, high quality show.
Top of the line.
Top of the line. Thank you, Dave. I couldn't think of anything but high quality. I said it twice. That was my fault. All right, it's time for question number 2. Question number 2. How can you tell if someone is smart?
Oh, that's a good question. I kind of am of the mind that everybody's dumb, myself included, and there's not much we can do about it.
I also believe that. This is really weird.
Yeah.
I also think everybody is dumb, including me.
Yeah, and especially because now, I mean, our interactions are far less in person and more on social media. So the only access I have to a lot of people's lives is their thoughts and beliefs via social media. So now I truly don't believe there's any intelligence left on Earth.
I think that I was very, very surprised. I think the thing that like shattered me, I mean, really shattered my view of the world was when they showed in Florida at that city council meeting, like the one person after another coming up to the city council meeting and arguing against masks and just being crazy, and like one after another. And I was just like, that is normal? Is that normal?
See, I used to host a conspiracy theory podcast way before this stuff was fashionable. So I have been faced with these individuals for quite a bit of time and lost my faith in humanity long, long ago.
Do you ever think that maybe that those are the normal humans and we don't know that we're the alien lizard people that is slowly replacing society? That's why we
I think you
different?
know.
You
I
ever
think you know.
Yeah. But that's part of the I'm dumb. Like, I think that other people are so confident in their thoughts that I must be wrong. People can really get by on me with certainty.
Right.
All right. And you know what? We have a lot of agreement in our thinking. I don't know why that is, but I'm going to give you a bell because it's kind of like giving myself a bell. You know? Once the comedian, I'm not going to say his name, but once a comedian got so mad at me because I wouldn't like basically hang out with him and be his friend that he called me a lizard. And he goes, "You're a lizard." And I was like, it's like weirdly sexual when he said it. I was like, what the hell? Like, you're a lizard. Like, hey, I'm a lizard because I don't want to hang with you. Are you kidding?
It's a really scary story.
Just because you change the pronoun doesn't mean I don't know that story is about me.
Yes, Sarah, please stop texting me. Thank you. It is now time for question number 3. Question number 3. Have you ever broken up a fight?
Yes, I've broken up a fight. I've started fights. I broke up a fight on ecstasy outside of a bar once. My buddy Ryan got into a huge fight with some guy, and I was the only one of our friends. All of us were on ecstasy. This is back when press pills were a fun thing. Sorry, 13-year-olds that are listening to this, apparently. And,
tons of them.
Yeah, my friend got into a fight. Some guy asked him to step outside, and I was the only one that kind of was aware that this was happening. And I walked out with him, and the guy was one of those dudes who like takes off their shirt immediately and then is like ready to fist fight in January. And the kids took off his shirt, threw it in my face. It was wildly comfortable, even falling down my face. I remember that feeling and even rubbing my chest a little bit. And then, I punched the guy in the face because he was going after my buddy, who's a much smaller guy. And it's for sure escalated and was messy, but that's my story.
Did that feel good? Did it feel good to punch him?
It really did, yeah. And more of like not like a physical knuckle to cheekbone, like that feels nice, but more of a
like
euphoric
ecstasy.
Yeah, euphoric. I'm a good friend. Like, I really stood for righteousness in this scenario.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say no bell on that question. I'll tell you why. Is because I asked you for a story where you broke up a fight, and you told me a story where you joined one.
Where you started it.
You just joined the fight.
That is breaking up fights where I'm from. It's like in The Exorcist at the end when he's like, "Come into me." That's what I did with a fight.
Makes sense.
I mean, I get the analogy, but yeah, it's, again, no bell. I mean, you obviously just joined the fight.
That's fair.
Great story, though.
Thanks.
All right, it's time for question number 4. Question number 4. What's your closest call?
Oh, my closest call. I've had a lot of them. My closest call that I can't get out of my head. It's one of those moments where if you think back to it, you have a shiver up your spine as if in another string theory dimension that resulted in your death or wild paralysis. So I was in Ireland when I was 15 years old playing Gaelic football for an American team. We went over there. We were very good. We played all over Ireland. And we're 15, we're drinking for the first time, we're hanging out with the parents and the other team. It's just, it's normalized culture. And we're walking, and I stumbled and tripped over what I thought was like a 2.5 to 3 foot rock wall. And instead,
hold on, wait. I want everybody to guess what it was he tripped over. You get one guess each before we find out.
Okay.
This is I don't know why I wanted to do this, but I think this is a good idea. All right, Dave. What do you think he tripped over? He thought it was a 1 foot wall. What was it?
I'm gonna say mountain cliff.
Mountain cliff. It was a mountain cliff, like combined.
Yeah, and he fell. He fell 90 stories.
Yogi, what do you think he tripped over?
I'm gonna say he fell into cold water. I think he's going in a water situation.
So you thought that he was looking forward, and he thought was a 1 foot wall, and he tripped over something, and it was water. So you thought he was walking toward water.
Yes.
All right. I don't think the logic works for me, but we'll find out. Zara,
I
what do you
bet I'm
think?
right.
Okay, I went with
Dave.
logic hard on this one. I think fossilized man fizz.
3 foot high.
Yeah.
3 foot high fossilized man fizz. Got it.
I don't know how you knew the height, but that was the height I was thinking.
It's all
My
the
guess-
Catholicism.
My guess, I know this is probably wrong, but it was a body.
Plot twist.
All right. So what was the truth?
So, Victor, that's a very good guess because there are a lot of bodies just kind of crumpled along the streets in Ireland, especially late at night. Once the pubs are closing. It's not the correct answer, but it's a good guess. I'm stunned that I'm about to say this, but Dave's mountain cliff is the closest to correct.
I told you.
Being that it was a 2.5 foot rock wall that seemed completely unassuming, and why would it be protecting anything of actual danger? And as I tripped over it, I fell 8.5 feet down to just sheer grass and landed flat on my back and neck. But like a pure 15-year-old popped up and was like, "That was weird," and walked away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
that is
scary
weird.
as hell. That is scary. That Dave was the closest. Oh my gosh.
Why is that scary?
We all know why. Even if you don't, we know why it's scary, Dave.
You're mad you couldn't say mountain cliff.
All right, you know what I'm gonna say? That is a great story. You get a bell.
Nice.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great story. All right, now it's time for question number 5. Question number 5. Okay, sorry. I wrote this question. I'm going to ask it. What would a kitten have to do to you for you to react by taking its life?
Just be be wet and jump on me out of nowhere.
I just like any wet kitten. You'd be like, no.
I feel like, and it wouldn't be intentional. Like it wouldn't be me consciously snapping its head off its body.
Oh my God.
That would be me seeing a small wet thing with claws land on my body, and I fear that my brain would kick into survival mode.
But you're saying no. So in this scenario, you're saying that you don't know it's a kitten in that case, right?
Sure.
No,
Yeah.
you have to know. What would a kitten have to do to you?
Oh, well, in that case,
by taking it's like it's a kitten, you know it's a kitten.
Slightly nick my son's face. If any kitten scratched my son, I would punt him off a bridge like the dog in Anchorman.
Slightly scratch your son's face?
Yeah, just even like
I'm gonna say no bell. I'm gonna say no bell. That's not enough. I mean, yes. Our children are precious. But if a kitten slightly scratched his face and you murdered that kitten, I'm gonna say no bell. Not enough. All right. Okay, so now it's time for question number 6. Question number 6. Is you or is you ain't my baby?
That's a good question.
I feel like is you is because I came after you in comedy. I'm a product of the scene that you cultivated. So in some form, I am a comedy baby of yours.
Wow.
Aren't we all?
That is That's a pretty cool answer.
Mhm.
But
Do you believe
I was
him?
hoping that you would know the next line of that song that goes, "Is you is or is you ain't my baby," and you did not. So no bell.
God damn. What song?
Of course, the song
The
is
next-
"Is you is or is you ain't my baby," and this
Mhm.
next line is, "The way you actin' makes me think you ain't."
How fitting.
So
God damn.
it's a song I sing to Dave all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Yep.
You don't even have my phone number.
I just want to be very clear for everybody out there. I do have Dave's phone number. I do.
Lies.
All right. We've asked you 6 questions, Mike. Now it's time to decide whether or not you get $5. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where they can find you?
Yeah, social media. I'm at I am Mike Cannon, and then I'm filming a special. If anybody listens that lives in New York City, I'm filming my second comedy special February 18th at the Triad Theater on the Upper West Side. 2 shows. I think they're already half sold, but tickets are at MikeCannonComedy.com, and I'd love for people to come so I can stop worrying about it.
All right. Now, we've asked you questions. Now it's time to decide whether or not you get $5. We always canvass the room. Dave, what do you think? Should Mike get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I mean, he made me look really, really good with the mountain cliff thing. So, it's going to be really hard for me to say no. And just don't forget when that next time I tell you mountain cliff, Victor, you know that I'm right. So, yes, I vote yes.
I can't wait till the next time you tell me Mountain Cliff. Can't wait. All right, Yogi, what do you think? Should Mike get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I have to say that I agreed with him about the cat pre-baby in terms of attacking it. But more importantly, I liked that Mike used to host a conspiracy podcast that has ended, which also is a conspiracy. As someone who has done it before as fashionable, I respect that about Mike, and I liked his answer. So yeah, he should get them $5.
What I heard was that it wasn't fashionable when he did his podcast. That's what I heard.
That's true.
All right, Zara, what do you think? Should Mike get $5 for his appearance on the show?
I think he should get $5 because he almost died in Ireland.
That's true.
You think that if people just have like near-death experiences, people should pay them?
$5, yeah. We
No.
all think that, Victor.
It's just a lot of white guys have feelings about Ireland and like feel some kind of connection to Ireland, and he was in Ireland and then almost died.
When you say white guys, do you mean Irish white guys have a connection to Ireland? Those specific ones?
No, I just mean pale ass men.
Generally? You think generally? Everybody?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm going to move on so that we can end the show. We have to ask our producer, Rachel. Rachel, what do you think? Should Mike get $5 for his appearance on the show?
Well, while I don't condone killing kittens, I do appreciate the audacity for killing one just because of a little scratch. How old is your son?
He's 2.5.
He's 2.5. Okay, yeah, that's a little old to be killing a kitten for a little scratch. So, but either way, I appreciate the audacity. So yes, he should get the $5.
So she invalidated her opinion by saying that like it's a little old, and then you invalidated your own opinion.
But
Rachel.
but I still appreciate the audacity, and because of that, he should get the $5.
Thank you.
Great. We've heard your side. Thank you, Rachel.
You're quite welcome.
What was that sass about?
I'll show you Sam.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
He's done. She's out.
Yes. All right. I am
fine.
so sorry. This staff around here is, I would say, out of control.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Mike, you are the last person to ask. What do you think? Should you get $5 for your appearance on the show?
I don't believe I have earned $5
Oh, come on.
because I came late to the program. I am a man of honor. I apologize for my tardiness. Sometimes hotels have better Wi-Fi than others, but
You are right. I
exclusive.
don't want to give $5 to a late jive turkey.
That's right. Put it back into the show.
Put it back into the 70s.
But thank you for appearing on the show. It was a great episode. You were wonderful.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Dave, now it's time to tell us what you learned from this week's show.
All right, and forgive me if I'm wrong. So if I have a 2-year-old and then I kill the cat in front of him, it's not going to affect him at all for the rest of his life? It's totally cool. It's fine to do that, or
Dave, I know this is weird. Good point. Good point. Anyway, everybody check us out at 6 Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.